Traveling. It's the thing you do when the things you want are not in the place you are. It's also the thing you do when the things that you don't want are in the place you are and not in the place that you want to go to. Now, when you're going from the place where you are to the place you want to go to, some things that you do like are going to be in the place you are and not in the place you want to go to. I'm, of course, talking about board games. Today, we're going to be building the ultimate board game and card game travel case. Because after all, you probably have played less than half of the small games you own half as much as you would like, and you probably like less than half of your family and friends half as much as they deserve, which is where board games come into play. I'm Jackson Warfield. Let's go build this case. These travel cases you can find at Joann Fabrics or Michael's. They're on sale at least once every year, if not every 6 months. You can get them for $15. On Facebook Marketplace, I bought a set of 3 of these boxes. That's why I have so many greens. The other ones that I have are either lower quality games or games that I just wanted to debox because I hated the boxes. So that's how you get one of these. And I have this broken up by category. That's what the colors are. Let's get started. First category of game that we need to have in our ultimate travel case is cooperative games. That's what the blue means. So I got 3 cooperative games here. Oh crap. The first game we have here is Regicide. Regicide is a relatively new game. Not a lot of people know about Regicide. Regicide is a cooperative game that uses a deck of cards to simulate basically attacking the jacks, queens, and kings together, where your soldiers are the different cards throughout the deck. Here's why Regicide is basically the MVP of this case. First of all, it's a good cooperative game. Second of all, it's also a good solo game. You see here, number of players, 1 to 4 players. That's right. But the icing on the top of the cake, I don't use that phrase that much, that's why it was so awkward, is Regicide can double as a deck of cards. I no longer need to have a deck of cards in here because we have Regicide. So Regicide is a must for this case. So we're going to put this, I think we'll put it that way. All right, that's the first blue game. Now the second blue game that was teased a little bit here is The Mind. The Mind is a game I mentioned in my, I believe it was my Mother's Day video. The Mind is a cooperative game where you are not allowed to talk and you basically have to put cards down in order while, vibing to each other what cards you actually have. If that sounds silly, try it. It's actually really fun. I played it with people too that think that people that are genetically related have an advantage, which is kind of ridiculous, but what do I know? The game is also nice because you don't have to take out the box. You just leave it right here. If you're concerned about any of these games getting unboxed, it's not as painful to debox a game as it is to, deglove your hand. At least not after you've done it a few times. You don't have to get rid of the boxes for sure. What you can do is you can just put all the boxes you don't like in another expansion box. You see, I wasn't going to put Rise of Fenris in here. That would have been very, very bold. It required a bit of a house ruling. What you do is you just fill up some of your old expansion boxes. Instead of throwing them away, make them just box containers for games that have been deboxed. Our third cooperative game, it's actually technically more than one game here, is a box, and I have here a box of Unlocks. Unlock is my favorite escape room game. And they'll sell versions of Unlock that aren't in the larger boxes. So if you take a normal Unlock box, hold on.
I would put it in what I call a lock box.
Normal Unlock boxes look like this. They come in packs of 3. You see the cards, they rest inside there, they slide around a little bit. You could technically just move them out of these boxes into the travel box. For Unlock, you may from time to time get scenarios that are smaller. So some game stores you'll see will sell like this little guy here, the Ghost Stone. You have Unlock Short Adventures now, which are really tiny, and you can actually fit probably 2 of them in one of these boxes. I forgot, what is this one? Oh, Fifth Avenue. If anyone's curious, this is non-adhesive vinyl tape. It's self-sticking. It's really good for decks of cards. I don't use it all the time, but when I do, I like it. And now we have 3 unlock scenarios that I can bust out anytime I have this case with me. So that's our cooperative section of the case. The next section of the case. The yellow is lively because party games are supposed to be lively. The first party game we have in the box is Flip 7. Flip 7 is a newer game, and a lot of people are big fans of Flip 7. Flip 7 is, I actually haven't played this copy yet, and I'll see how long I can preserve the white wrappers here. Flip 7 is a blackjack kind of style game, and it's a party game that can feature almost unlimited number of players. Like I think it's with one deck you can play up to potentially 18 players or so. Flip 7 is really exciting. It's great. It'll cover a lot of ground here. It's a no-brainer for your travel box. The next party game box I have is some monikers. I say some monikers because this is not an entire box of monikers. This is actually a monikers expansion. And I think I could have fit the monikers expansion in the main box, but it works even better as a travel box. So this is the shove and sit down expansion. Yeah, that would be pretty good. I didn't expect that card to come up. A bunch of cards for monikers is good. I guess Time's Up Total Recall could work as well, but this will maybe get you like 5 games in before you start to know all the cards. Maybe not 5 games, maybe like 3 games. But you only really need like 40 cards to really get a good game of monikers going. So having some monikers cards ready to go is critical for this box. Next, we need a little bit of social deduction, or at least lying, and Cockroach Poker is my choice for how to lie. Now, there are some games you could have gone with here that would have fit easily. You could have fit games like Crossfire or Coup to scratch that social deduction itch. You could not have fit Resistance Avalon because of the board. I have Cockroach Poker in here partially because the box is more square and I wanted to debox Cockroach Poker more. Cockroach Poker was lying to people. Like, you're going to slide people cards. On each of these cards is a bug. You're either going to lie and say, here's a stink bug, or you're going to tell the truth and say, here's a cockroach. Try to call you out if you're lying, and if they don't call you out, they continue onward and then keep passing the card. So that's Cockroach Poker. It's a nice game, very quick to bust out. Very good with a group that is comfortable lying to each other, like most families. Next party game is A Fake Artist Goes to New York. This one I was especially happy to debox because this comes in a weird little pink box that doesn't really fit on any shelves. The Fake Artist Goes to New York is in the Pictionary category. Let's say you're playing with 5 players. 4 of you will know what you're all trying to draw collectively. You see each have a marker. And 1 player will have no idea what you're drawing, but you take turns drawing 1 line at a time. So you get orange player draws a line. My orange marker's dried out. Pink then draws a line. Green maybe doesn't know what they're drawing, but tries to draw a line to fit it. And everyone's trying to suss out the fake artist. Well, the fake artist is trying to blend in. It's actually a pretty cool mix of Pictionary style art type of games. I guess it's more of the Telestrations kind of a category. I mean, Telestrations is a much better game than Pictionary, so that's the better reference. But it mixes in social deduction well. So Fake Artist Goes to New York. Great game for your travel box. And the last party game we have here, which is borderline just kids game, but is a fun, potentially raucous game, Happy Salmon. And Happy Salmon, my copy is the copy that came in that felt fish that I think you saw in the sky. What? In the side of the Rise of Fenris box of boxes. Happy Salmon is a game where you have a card, and maybe my card is going to say high five. I'm looking around the table of everyone playing, trying to find who's also trying to do a high five, because that means they have a high five card. And when we both high five each other, we get to drop our card, and you're trying to empty all your cards. You also have a cool move here. Well, you got Pound It. You're trying to find something to pound it with. There's also, where is it? Switcheroo, you change spots on the table, although you can play it where you just spin in a circle. Happy Salmon, that's why I was confused. Happy Salmon, you actually like flap each other on the forearm like you got fins. That's like a Happy Salmon. You don't need to play it with kids. It works well with adults too. I played that for the first time at PAX East. I like Happy Salmon. My wife also suggests Happy Salmon a lot. Moving on to the next category, we have 2 games here. These are the games to bust out if you need to play games with kids. The first of these is Cardline. In Cardline, you are trying to arrange cards in order by something, and that something can change. So maybe we start with the rabbit and say we're going to be organizing cards here by average age that the animal lives to. So a rabbit is 7 years. So I might put rabbit down, and then someone has now draws sheep and says sheep live less than a rabbit or more than rabbit. I'd say, okay, more. And 11 years. So I got that right. And then if you want to put a card, you'll have to potentially put it in between other animals you put down already. So you're making a big line. That's why it's called Card Line. And Card Line is great. It's better than Timeline because you have the different ways to play. With Card Line animals, you can play with animal size, animal weight, or animal age. Timeline, you're just doing the years and that's it. I do have all of my Timeline games in these cases though, because I hate those tins. I don't know. It was the dumbest thing. I don't know who decided to put board games in tins. Like Forbidden Island, God, it's terrible. I hate the tins. And we have Bugs on Rugs. So this is another kids game. This game I've called out on best games for kids that adults also enjoy. Bugs on Rugs is a drafting game. If you have trouble finding Bugs on Rugs, you can get one of the older copies of Sushi Go and fit that in here. There are a number of different kids games that could potentially work. Bugs on Rugs is my choice. And I'll say, as we're going through the rest of this list, if you have games that are similar to these but not the same, it fits just as well. You know, do what you want with your ultimate case. No one's is going to be exactly the same. If you have Cockroach Poker, for example, if you like, what's the moth game? You know, Shotten Totten, or, Cheating Moth. If you want to do Cheating Moth instead of Cockroach Poker, that works just as well. So take some creative license with your box. After all, it is your box, but my box is the official ultimate box. So no one's going to be able to outdo my box. Ask me what's in the box. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Now we're into the green games. These games aren't party games per se. They're more gamey games. Make that the category.
There was Squirrely, the squirrel, Rabbity, the rabbit, Beavery, the beaver, and
Gamey games. The first game we have here is Welcome Back to the Dungeon. Welcome Back to the Dungeon is a push your luck style game. Different heroes will come up. These heroes, you see, like there's the princess here, the bard. On your turn, you're either going to take equipment away from a hero, put another monster in the dungeon, make the dungeon harder, or tap out. So that's where the push your luck comes in. The last player to not tap out then has to try and beat the dungeon with the equipment that's left. The reason why Welcome Back to the Dungeon is in here is because Welcome to the Dungeon and Welcome Back to the Dungeon, while very similar, don't actually integrate together. There's no point to putting them in the same box. In fact, Welcome Back to the Dungeon is just an improved version of Welcome to the Dungeon. I have both of them. I keep Welcome to the Dungeon in the box on the shelf. Even though Welcome Back to the Dungeon makes some quality of life improvements to the game, for example, it adds a board that you didn't have in Welcome to the Dungeon. It still fits in this box, and I would say Welcome Back to the Dungeon is objectively a little bit better than Welcome to the Dungeon. So Welcome Back to the Dungeon is the first of our gamey games. Wouldn't that be an interesting top 10 list? Top 10 gamey games. Next is Quicks. We needed a bit of a roll and write here. I'm putting Quicks in here as a roll and write because, you know, if you need to scratch that roll and write itch, you kind of can't go wrong. Like, there are a lot of roll and writes you can put in here. I put Quicks in here largely because I wanted to debox it from its tuck box. Quicks is fun though. It's one of the best games you can also find in just generic like family gift shops. Like, it actually comes across as like a mass market game. Important point with Quicks, or any roll and write that you put in here, don't forget the pencil. I swear to God, I forget the fucking pencil every time I try to bust out a roll and write now. I have a problem. Don't forget the pencil. Put a pencil in there. Go mini golfing. Get 20 pencils. Just make sure you have a pencil. Filling out your board. I don't really need to explain it too much. It's a straightforward roll and write game. I played it with my grandmother when she was well into her 80s. So Quicks fills the roll and write slot in your Ultimate Collector's box. Next we have For Sale. For Sale. This one is a necessary addition. This is one of, maybe not the MVP of the box, but For Sale is a great card game. It's 3 to 6 players. For Sale works in 2 phases. First, you have a round where you're all buying properties. First, you have a round where you're buying houses that are popping up. Yeah, this is actually a house. This is a cave. You're bidding on houses trying to get the best number. So a higher numbered house is a better house. So house number 5, house number 6. The TP is better than the cave. Probably debatable. It probably depends on the climate, to be honest. But in this game, it's better. There's the Breaking Bad, RV here. It's a 14. First half of the game, you're bidding with money you started with to try and get the best properties, and then you're selling off your properties to bidders that are showing up with a certain amount of money they're willing to spend on houses. At the end of the game, you're trying to get the most money. It's a very thinky game. Oh, crap, I got a coin. These are paper coins here. My box was kind of a flimsy tuck box here. Nothing annoys me more than a card game that comes in a flimsy tuck box. I swear to God, I forget the fucking pencil. The For Sale would have been in this regardless of the box that it came in. So it's For Sale, game number 3 of the gamey games. 2 more gamey games to go. We have here, this is Bang the Dice game. Mine is the Walking Dead version, although any version of Bang the Dice game will do. If Sam Healy were to make his box here, he would definitely include a version of Bang the Dice game. If you remember Sam Healy from the earlier days of the Dice Tower. Bang the Dice game is kind of like Yahtzee in a way. Everyone has a different identity. It's a bit of a team game. You'll have the sheriff and deputies, but then you also have outlaws, then you'll have renegades. In Walking Dead, that's themed based on characters in The Walking Dead. And in your turn, you're doing 3 Yahtzee rolls with the dice, and your dice are either going to attacking other characters. Walking Dead, you're trying to keep zombies away, but you have Indian attacks in Bang the Dice game. It's like Yahtzee, but it's not a roll and write. It's more like how King of Tokyo uses the Yahtzee dice mechanics. It's like 80% as good as King of Tokyo, but you can get it into this box. Now, you probably could, if you wanted to not use the board in King of Tokyo, you probably could get that in here too, but I wouldn't recommend that. That's a little bit too sacrilegious for me as a gamer. So Bang the Dice game is what makes it into the ultimate case. And then the last gaming game here is Love Letter. See, I have a copy of Love Letter that comes in this little felt bag. Love Letter is a great 4-player game. It's a card game. It's going to appeal to people that are used to playing card games with a 52-card deck. You have these roll cards. You'll start around maybe with the Countess, and you draw the guard. And you choose which of your 2 cards to play. Or I'm going to play the guard. And then with the guard, it allows you to try and name a card that another player has, and if they have it, they're out. So you have cards that it kind of starts there, and the mechanics play off of each other. It comes with these little, I call them tokens of like love, of affection from the princess. These little cubes. You don't need to play through until all those get doled out necessarily, even though that's technically how you play the game. There are other versions of Love Letter. I think there's like a Batman Love Letter, all kind of the same thing. Love Letter, it's a great addition to this box. Plus, you don't have to worry about where to put your weird felt bag of Love Letter. And the last game. Now, I bet you're wondering what this is. One game category to itself. What is it? You didn't expect this one. Here we have a starter set for Magic the Gathering. That's right. I have the Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering starter set in here. I had to bend the rule book a bit. I don't love that I had to do that, but I wasn't going to like keep it sealed to try and resell it later or anything like that. So I have any kind of game like Magic like this could work. I mean, maybe you could get the Pokemon trading card game or Yu-Gi-Oh in here if you can figure out how to fit that. Actually, you probably could fit that. Now, if I want to play Magic, it's there. You know, as far as two-player games are concerned, Magic's actually pretty good. It's a solid game. There's a reason why it's so absurdly popular. So that's our ultimate travel case. Are there any games that you would put in your travel case? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, remember to subscribe to Jackson's Warfield, and I'll see you in the next video.